My 35F husband, 35M, of 11 years cheated in our home while I was asleep. Then it got worse. I, 35F, have been married 11 years but we've been together 16. My husband has some health issues so he doesn't work or drive anymore. His judgment is impaired and before all that, he was mentally ill. But he was faithful and loving. Things have been strained the last 2 years. We're moving out of state. He tells me a high school friend on Facebook is terminally ill. A few days later, he asks to visit her with another friend I like. It is bad timing, Sunday night, as our child has school Monday morning and he walks him to school, but he swears he'll be able to do so. Finally, I agree. I lost my best friend to cancer, I'm soft for it. He goes. Returns at 4 a.m. via Uber with a story about the party devolving due to bad elements showing up. It was an hour away. I take my son to the doctor cause he's too tired. I notice a funny charge on my card. An Uber ride for $36 or so after the one he took. The records show it was from near our house to an hour away. He swears he had no idea what happened. He's spending a lot of time on the phone, texting, Facebook. He's become his friends with this terminally ill girl. I'm worried what that will do to him when we move, if she gets worse. She's always getting herself into trouble. Stories of not eating, needing to be saved. I keep refusing. She needs a place to stay. I cave in, though I refuse to let her 2 friends stay. I tell my husband she has to come after my son's therapy session. She comes hours beforehand. Thus begins 2 days of things I want to forget. I was nice to her. I didn't know. But when I woke up after the second night and there was a bed laid out on the living room floor and my husband was in my son's bed with her, I woke him up. He claims she wanted comfort after a scary movie. I didn't believe him. I told him she needed to leave. He finally got her an expensive Uber ride. She was supposed to go see her, didn't read, but skipped out to a friend's house. Mind you, during the time she was here I was working and took my son to an important doctor appointment that my husband swore he would go to. I repeatedly told my husband I was uncomfortable and asked if they had an inappropriate relationship. That night I got him to admit they kissed. Okay, sure. He admitted she did something to him. Finally, I asked to see his phone if there was nothing to worry about. Well, text messages were relatively clean. Not so with Facebook. That's how I found out he didn't know her before their first meeting when he brought her back to our apartment while I was asleep with my son and brought her back in after he went to school. The things they said are burned in my brain. They were doing things in my apartment while my son watched cartoons and I was at work, or while we slept. I can't believe the nerve, the betrayal. He thought he could get away with it. He told her he loved her, after a few short weeks, which tells me something wrong there. I trashed everything I associate with her or them, blankets, his clothes, stuff she left. I have to live here. At least till the end of the month. When I think about it, I want to throw up and my chest hurts. I can't tell anyone. He took advantage of my son's disabilities and my blind spots. And he knew it based on reading the messages. He is very insistent that the reason he did this is because he was seeking affection. First night it was revealed he was yelling right back at me over it. But I refused to let him use that against me. Our issues before didn't warrant this treatment. My instincts all told me, but I didn't listen. Now I'm paying the price. We move out of state in a couple weeks. Lease is signed. I can't afford it without him. I don't know what would happen with my son without him. So my question is, can I move forward with him? Should I? I am his caretaker, though that may have led to some of our issues in the first place. How do you protect yourself after such a violation? How can I tell he's sorry for what he did, not sorry he got caught? Too long, didn't read, husband slept with other woman in our home while I was sleeping, at work and while son was there, as secret and as house guest. How do I move forward? How can I tell if he's remorseful?
Hey guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me out, thanks.
Contact the landlord. explain the situation, and see if you can get out of the lease. You may have to pay a fee, but it may be worth it to you. Contact a divorce lawyer and find out your options. Why would you even consider staying longer with him? He clearly has no respect for you or his son. Seriously, just kick him out or leave yourself with your son. I, 32M, busted my wife of 5 years, 38F, on her way to an affair, have kids. What to do? Hi everyone, made a throwaway account for this one. Quick backstory, we have 2 kids together and she has 4 kids from other relationships, 2 of which have moved out of home. I love her kids like my own, and will do anything to provide a happy family for them. Before we met, I had my idea of the perfect bachelor life but happily give it up for her and her kids. So tonight my wife went out to meet some friends and I was a bit suspicious, so I jumped on her Facebook and read a rather steamy conversation between her and a guy I'll call Luke since that is his name. Anyway, he had given her a fairly descriptive description of what he was going to do to her when she arrived at his house. I gave her a call and confronted her about it, to which she lied deluxe about it until I told her about the messages. I pretty much told her how I am still crazy about her, but if she meets him then we are done. I told her to come back home and we can talk through everything. She came back home after I called her, but said she came back because of the kids. We talked for as long as we could about it. She said it was basically due to her being a mother since she was 18 or so, and she is tired of the rut of the kids, even though they are the most important things to her. So I don't know where that leaves me. My wife would have cheated on me, said she came back because of the kids, not me. If we didn't have kids I would go straight for a divorce without even talking about the situation, but I can't just walk out on the boys. I don't know what to do. I'm heartbroken and don't even have anybody to talk to about it. I love my wife and family, they are everything to me, but she was going to throw it away when it wasn't even something I did. I don't know what to do, advice or anything would be great. Sorry if this didn't make much sense, I've had a few drinks. Too long, didn't read, caught wife trying to cheat but don't want to get a divorce because of kids. A friend's parents got a divorce when she was 20 and her brother a few years older. Her parents basically stayed together for them, you know, for the kids. She felt lied to, and like she and her brother were responsible for her parents' crappy marriage, because hey, they stayed in the marriage for them. In other words, if your marriage is crappy, perhaps it is not always the best thing to stay in it for the kids. Unless you are both great actors. I've not thought about it like that, I've just always assumed the kids would be devastated by the divorce rather than upset we stayed together for them. Me, 33M, with my wife, 33F, of 9 years, she cheated and I'm gone. I will try and keep this brief. Thanks to all of you who have contributed to breakup threads and infidelity threads over the past few months. There have been many evenings when many hours have been spent poring over the advice that is generated from these posts. It has helped me to formulate a plan and then execute it. Here is the short version of the last 7 months. Happily married, no kids, both professionals. My job requires a good bit of travel, which is not a big deal since her job forces her to work 80+ hours a week. We are both very busy, but her much more than myself. A few things didn't add up last September, so based on the advice on Reddit, the investigating began. It took me a long time to figure out what was going on because she was excellent at covering her tracks. Around November, all of the pieces came together and outside help was brought in to help me get all my ducks in a row. An attorney was hired and so was a private eye. In January, everything was confirmed 100% by the PI and that was all the proof that I needed. After much thought, today is the day that everything ends. I have been planning it since the visual confirmation earlier this year. She is being served at her office today at 4 p.m. Based on conversations she has had with me and conversations she has been having with the other guy, there is no way she has any idea that this is coming from me. It will be a shock, but certainly not a surprise. The divorce will be very simple since we earn about the same amount of money and don't have a ton of stuff. The truck is in front of the house and it is now loaded. I am moving out of state. It doesn't matter where I live since I am in sales and my territory is half of the United States. The furniture that is going with me are the pieces that were given to me by my family when we married. She can have everything else and she is going to be keeping 3/4 of it anyway. I am driving the truck myself and can't wait to get to my new condo and start a brand new life. My last 6 months have been pure hell. Here is the question, and I think I already know the answer, but would love to hear your opinions. Her other guy is a co-worker at the law firm. He is early 50s with a wife and 3 daughters. They don't appear to work in the same department, and he is not her boss. By all appearances, he has a great family and a great life. Do I contact his wife as I am leaving town? Would you want to know? Am I just being spiteful? Too long, didn't read, she cheated, I am out, trying to figure out whether to ruin lives on the way out the door. Edit, she got the papers. Phone calls and texts non-stop for the last 15 or so minutes. Her sister and mother have phoned me as well. I have not responded to any of them. Also, I am moving from a large city in the northeast to Florida. Trying to get to South Carolina tonight and then to my final stop tomorrow. I am stopping for gas and coffee right now and I really appreciate all of the kind words. Edit number 2, I am still on the road, but getting closer to my new home. Last night was very interesting. I did not speak with her or text her. I did speak on the phone with my mother and her sister. My words were very careful and thought out to her sister, as I would expect her to hang up the phone with me and tell her everything. Talking to my mom was not easy. It is a humiliating situation to discuss with your family. My mom gave me 100% support and is coming to visit me next weekend at my new place. Moms are the best. I will get settled in and update everything in a couple of days. I have decided to not contact the boyfriend's wife. I could change my mind down the road, but for now, no contact with her is planned. Looking forward to starting new. While I always operate under the assumption that I would want to know this, keep in mind that, if your wife loses her job over this, then it could have a negative outcome for you in the divorce, as you two will no longer be earning about the same. Ask yourself if the relief you would feel from revenge is worth the potential financial cost. Also, keep in mind that revenge can be delayed. You could wait until your divorce is final and then tell the other guy's wife. That would have less potential to negatively impact you financially. Ask your divorce lawyer if he thinks this could have a negative impact on your divorce proceedings. As someone pointed out, this could impact your soon-to-be ex-wife's income, and that could impact your divorce. I would want to know if my husband was cheating on me.